Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. This is a proud day in the history of the Jersey City Fire Department. Today we're being honored by the Insurance Service Office, also known as the ISO, for our accomplishments of reaching a fire protection classification of 1, which is the highest they give out. This is an accomplishment that I'm personally proud of, and I'm proud of the people who helped us get to this point. And what the ISO does for the fire department is just validates what we already knew, or we always thought we knew, is that we are among the best of the best. And through their evaluations, they quantify what we've done to improve ourselves, and it shows by giving that Class 1 certification. I'll just read a little snippet from one of their, some of their literature. The ISO program evaluates communities according to a uniform set of criteria, incorporating nationally recognized standards developed by the National Fire Protection Association and the American Water Works Association, and it grades the communities on needed fire flows, which are representative of building locations used to determine the theoretical amount of water necessary for fire suppression purposes, emergency communications, including emergency reporting, telecommunications, and dispatching systems, the fire department, including equipment, staffing, training, geographic distribution of fire companies, operational considerations, and community risk reduction, as well as water supply, including the inspection and flow testing of hydrants, alternative water sources and operations, and a careful evaluation of the amount of available water compared by the amount of needed to suppress fires. So all these things are quantified after months and months of coming here, the ISO, and evaluating us with the help of Chief Daly from our Office of Emergency Management. He was our liaison with not only communications, but also with Suez Water and the MUA, who are instrumental in helping us make sure we have the proper water supply throughout the city, and the hydrants are tested. And that was an incredible task to overcome, and we got to the point where we earned the extra points needed from the last time we were evaluated, which was in 2019, which was the first time we were bumped up to a Class 2, which was historic at the time. Chief Drennan, Chief Shook, and Chief Vallow, he started off a couple of years ago for training. That's a huge part of why we're here today. The training is now verified through many different means, one of which is everything is certified by the state. We document everything the way it's supposed to be documented according to the parameters of the ISO, and that's a huge accomplishment, and it just shows the professionalism of the department at where we got to this point. I mentioned Suez, United Water, I'm not sure what they're called now. They change the name every other week, it seems like. But I want to thank them personally too, because just the time and effort to come to us to deal with the fire department isn't the easiest thing to do, but they do. Bob Baker and Dave McNeese from our communications, and the new company CSI, who runs our computer-aided dispatch, they were a huge help, and they are one of the reasons why we're here. We earned the extra points needed from the last evaluation due to the improvements in our communication system. Emergency management also hit Greg Pierce. I want to thank him. He's always been at our side, helping us out, getting us grant money, and we couldn't do the things what we do today without him and all the help that he had. Chief DeGilio, who's my XO, my number one, I couldn't do without him. He's the one that pushes everybody at the shop to make sure our apparatus are fixed and working in proper order, making sure we have our annual tests that are standardized by the NFPA, which include pump testing, hose testing, aerial testing, ground ladders. 3 years worth of data is needed to show improvements, and without Chief DeGilio, that would have never happened. And I also want to thank the city, the mayor, and the administration as a whole for helping us and supporting us throughout this way. I'll bring some of the council people up to say a few words in a second, but first, without further ado, I want to bring up our representatives from the ISO so they can say a few words.
Thanks, Chief McGill, and all those in attendance for the opportunity to participate. And and recognize this outstanding achievement. And it has special meaning to us because ISO is a Veris company, and our headquarters actually are in Jersey City. So each and every day our colleagues come to work knowing that we're well protected. We evaluate almost 39,000 fire protection areas across the country, and just over 450 have achieved this Class 1 certification, just over 1%. So I think you can see from that this is a special achievement. And it's not only representative of the outstanding work of the men and women of Jersey City Fire that respond to emergencies, but it also recognizes the community risk reduction efforts, the fire investigations, the fire inspections, the public outreach and education. It also considers the performance and efforts of the water utilities and the water infrastructure and the emergency communications and 911 systems. So it truly is a collaborative achievement shared across all these teams. We also recognize that this type of success and performance requires supportive leadership from all levels of government. And I know we have some councilmen represented today. So I just want to close to congratulate Chief McGill and all those responsible for this outstanding achievement.
I'm Bob Shoemaker, I'm the senior boat rep covering this area here. I have to thank the chief and all of his officers. They've really done a phenomenal job here. This is an incredible achievement, and I would like to take the opportunity to officially present you this plaque of certificate of recognition for achieving Class 1 that is absolutely amazing.
In preparation for this, if you notice on the apparatus, they sent us the official logo. It's going on all the apparatus in the city, on all the firehouses, and on my office door, once we get the rest of the logos made. So, once again, I just want to thank them for this recognition, and I want to invite up our council members. Councilperson Mira Panzeri, want to come up and say something?
Everyone, first of all, congratulations. Personally, I want to say thank you for all the hard work that you all do and for the important work that you do, putting your life on the line every single time you go out. One of the reasons why some of you may see me at fire scenes is, first of all, we want to make sure that you guys are okay, but also that I know as a council person I'm making the right decisions to support you all, making sure that you have the best and making sure that you have what you need when the chief comes, when communications come, when anybody comes with a request. So, it's really important to make sure that we support the people that support us. And so thank you again, congratulations, and for everyone who's made this possible, you guys have done tremendous work, and to echo the chief, we do have the best in the state. So thank you guys.
Councilperson Slay.
Thank you. You guys should give yourselves a round of applause because without you, this wouldn't have happened. So please give yourselves a round of applause. This Class 1 certification, it is incredible. So thank you to the ISO for bestowing us with this honor. But it only reaffirms what we already knew, which is the Jersey City Fire Department is second to none in this country. We have the best fire department. As my council colleague Mira Panzeri said, it is incumbent upon us as council people to ensure that you have the resources, the equipment, and the cooperation that's necessary for us to have achievements like this and to better our police, our fire department. I want to thank every organ of government that helped make this possible. Director Bob Baker, Director Shea, also Fire Chief McGill, and Director Kearse as well. There's so many directors, but that just shows you how many organs of government need to come together in order for us to make this possible. So many improvements need to be done in every sector of this city. But ultimately, our greatest asset is our people and our firefighters. So thank you so very much for the work you do day in and day out and for making this possible. Thank you.
Council President DeGise.
Good afternoon. Congratulations to you all. Thank you for being here and thank you for the service that you do. Our public safety officers are one of the top priorities, myself and the city, and I thank the city and the administration for putting the work in to make sure that everyone has what they need to do their work well and to do it safely. And I take it as a particular passion of mine as my fiance, Jen Collins, is a proud Jersey City firefighter. So I know firsthand what you men and women bring home. I know firsthand, secondhand, I guess, what you take on, and I cannot thank you enough. And it's a real honor to become this class of a firefighter, of a fire service for the city that's so robust and dense and probably very difficult to navigate around. But we take on those challenges head on. I cannot thank you enough for keeping myself and my family and all of my neighbors safe here. And I promise to continue advocating for our public safety and our fire departments to make sure that you have exactly what you need to perform your job with the quality that you have already been doing. So thank you.
Councilman Gilmore.
Congratulations. Is there any way we can get a 1A? This is the highest level of achievement here. There's no 1As? Okay. Well, this is huge right here. Again, this is something we've already known. We've seen you at work firsthand. And for the life of me, there's about 3 professions where I look at and I can't see why either people are extremely crazy or extremely passionate about their work that they do. And being a firefighter is one of those professions. You guys run into danger not knowing if you're coming out. It takes a special kind of dedication for humanity to run into danger, risking your own lives to save others. So I commend you. There's not enough words to show the gratitude and thankfulness for the work and dedication that you do. Again, we're going to try to do everything at our disposal to make sure you guys and ladies have the proper funding that you need to do the work that you do, and just continue to be great and care for all of us. We have you on our back, we have you on our hearts, and continue to be great.
Thank you. Before I bring the next person up, I just want to acknowledge also Mary Watson's our fire official. I forgot to mention that that was a huge part. Fire prevention is a huge part of what made this happen, and her dedication and her civilian staff did a great job, and I just want to acknowledge her. Also want to acknowledge Pete Nowak. He's the head of our officers union, and Joe Kranick's not here on the firefighters union, but they have been supporting myself and everyone here throughout their careers, and I just want to thank them. As well as the Gun Club, the only volunteer organization left in Jersey City, over 50-something years. They're here at every event. I just want to thank them. And next up is retired Deputy Chief Robert Cobb. He used to work at ISO after he retired, and he's been pushing every chief that's been in the office to get something like this done. And without his prodding and calling me all the time, I don't think we would have got to where we are today. And I just want to call him up. He's going to say a few words. Thanks, Bob.
I'm 5'6", just got to come down a little bit, thank you. So, this is an honor for me. Not many times in anybody's life do you get to pay back for what someone or some person or some entity has given to you. And I spent almost 35 years here in Jersey City, had a great life, had a great retirement. When I left here, I got a phone call from Verus Analytics, which is the parent company, and one of the vice presidents asked if I'd be interested in working. I went over and I spoke with him, and the rest is history. I stayed there for a number of years, became the national director. But the key to this whole thing is Chief McGill, the day he got promoted to chief, he grabbed me and said, one of the things I want to accomplish is make this a class 1 fire department. They were 3 at the time. And I knew from my experience it was going to take a few years, and it did. We started somewhere in 2018 and got to 2022. This whole process is about coordination, about getting everybody who has an interest in this at a table and coordinating everything that had to be done. Now, in my years, the chief staff usually considered, well, the chief agents, I was his staff. All the chiefs that came after me, their staff was relatively small. But when I came back to Jersey City, and Chief McGill said, I have a room full of people ready to go to work, and there were like 9 or 10, not only chief officers, but captains, the water company, communications, everybody had sent some representative into a room. I've never seen a fire chief do that. And the whole point really for me is, I've never seen a fire chief with the ability to do that. He was on a mission, he got everybody together, there's a lot of work to be done, but in the end, he got everybody to do their part, get the right amount of points, and made it happen. And I'll tell you the truth, and I told him, how many times did I tell you, not happening this time, not happening this time? I wouldn't give in to say, hey, I think you did it. I just kept saying, doesn't look good, we need another point here, I need another point there. And he kept after it. He kept after everybody. And I applaud the fire department, every officer, every firefighter, because they're doing more training. The officers are doing more training. Everybody's doing more of something. The water company, they're doing more than they used to. Fire prevention was doing more than they used to, because you don't get this by not doing more. And everybody did it. I just can't tell you how proud I am. And I had the ability to give back. When Steve came to me, I said, geez, as a consultant, probably around $15,000, $20,000 for a city this big. But I was teasing. It was, you know what? There was no money involved at all. I volunteered my services. I did a couple. Steve knows an owner of every restaurant in the city, so I had a couple of really good meals, and introduced me to Manhattan. I never had a Manhattan until I met Chief McGill. That's my favorite drink when I come here. But an incredible achievement, and for me, I lay this on the lap of Chief McGill, and I think he deserved a big round of applause again for his accomplishment. Now there they have a fire in the middle. Councilman, you said 1A? No fire department in history of ISO grading has ever accomplished a top score of 105.5. That's the most you can get?
Okay.
So
Pretty good.
that's the next target. Thanks for having me here. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
That's the stop for the city, so. Thank you, Chief Cobb. I appreciate that. Like I always do, I'll never take credit for what's been done. These are all my chiefs here, firefighters in the back. It was a group effort by everybody. Absolutely not by me, it's by them. I just steer the ship, they run it. And I'm just proud of everybody and what they've done and what we've accomplished today. Just want to thank everybody for coming. We'll be up here for questions later on if you want. But thank you very much. Have a great day.